They can hear us now.
Oh no.
This is
What's wrong with
terrible.
you?
Welcome, everybody, to Rat Station, a soft reboot where absolutely nothing has changed except for the things that have changed. Let's
Tinder.
let's start with introductions. I am Drake Star. I am the dead one.
I'm Drake Star. I'm the dead one. And
Yeah.
you are?
I'm Drake Star. I'm the dead one.
Hey, don't do that. I already had a thing where all of our tags were mine for some reason.
Oh, we should keep it that way.
No, this is way funnier. 2 Twitter tags and then just Ash.
Yeah.
Ash.
I'm Ash.
Weren't you
I haven't fulfilled any promises I made in the last one.
Weren't you tagged as Markiplier last time we did one of these?
I was. Yeah.
It's really funny.
Thanks, Marky Boo.
Oh yeah, Markiplier, Iron Lung, really poorly timed disaster.
Oh no.
Dang, a lot of things have happened since our last episode.
I still love that the guy who made Iron Lung posted that the sales for his game were going up after that tragedy happened.
I mean, it's like a $5 game.
Yeah.
It's a very funny game.
It's a very funny $5 game.
He posted the Steam like the records for people who bought it, and he was like, "Thanks, I guess."
I think he said something along the lines of "This feels wrong."
Yeah.
After it happened, I may or may not have gotten drunk at a family gathering and talked about how, well, they were rich.
I mean, that was basically the tone of everybody. Nobody had any sympathy.
The only person I had sympathy for was the one who the kid.
Yeah, the small
one who-
child.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was like,
Or like he was a 16-year-old.
Yeah, but
Still, that's pretty young.
yeah, that's the only one I'm like, yeah, that probably shouldn't.
Everyone
happen."
else, including the guy that built the thing.
No,
Whatever.
they had a problem when they actually lost one of them at one point, I believe. Like they actually they this wasn't the first time they've had avid problems. It's hilarious.
I just when I first heard about the it was controlled by an Xbox controller, I thought that was a joke.
Not even an Xbox controller. It was an off-brand, like Mad Catz version.
Oh, it's not like a,
It was a Logitech controller from 2011 or something, and all the credits, all the reviews on Amazon are now saying, "Man, this thing sucks. Don't use this one."
don't do that one.
Oh no! And there was that picture that was circulating that may or may not have been fake of a deep sea picture with the controller and in the sand.
I think that was real.
That was real.
I believe so.
It's really funny if it was.
I would really would have loved if they like dug through the wreckage and they found like an orange Mad Catz controller.
Like one of the transparent plastic ones.
Well, I had a controller growing up. It was like it was the orange Mad Catz GameCube controller, with the foam grips. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Nope, I'm young.
And it was just this ugly orange rip-off GameCube controller. But the thumb pad for it broke off. So all that was left on the thumb pad was this lacerating plastic, and that was the little brother controller.
Oh,
yeah.
That talk about wrecking your palm.
Yeah.
Talk about that's what you get for being the little brother.
We did have a list of topics. Let's talk about Mario. You all saw the Mario movie?
Yeah, I saw the Mario movie in theaters.
I also did.
I might have. I won't tell.
It's so weird. I got very existential about it the other day, where I was like, man, we first sat down all in that Nintendo Direct and laughed at the idea of Chris Pratt being Mario.
Pull up that clip.
Then it happened, and now it's just a distant memory now. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, there was all these like reaction videos like, Chris Pratt as Mario? What? And people laughing, and then they saw that Jack Black was Bowser, and it's like, oh, that's gonna be awesome, and it was awesome.
It was like Charlie Day, seeing Charlie Day and Jack Black were like, oh, so this is peak casting then.
Oh yeah. Something I will say though, that this movie needed more Luigi Charlie Day.
It's true, yeah.
gorgeous. But I do love all the content that has come out of it that is just Bowser X Luigi.
There's a lot of that.
I gotta say, I think Seth Rogen gave a better voice performance than people wanted to give him credit for.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Him as Donkey Kong is like strangely perfect casting.
Completely perfect casting.
Oh yeah, like nobody can say that Seth Rogen wasn't the perfect match for Donkey Kong.
I will say that I was sitting in the theater and I heard him do the Seth Rogen laugh as Donkey Kong on the Rainbow Bridge, and I think I laughed so loud I disturbed the people sitting next to me.
I mean,
I did a really like sharp, quick laugh, but like I couldn't keep it in because it's just like it didn't feel real. Like it didn't feel like a real thing that was happening.
I had already gotten semi used to it because I had watched this like animatic where somebody took Kung Fu Panda footage where a lot of the cast was already in the Mario movie. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about, the animatic where it was Bowser getting acupuncture and then Donkey Kong laughing as he like tumbled down some stairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a really well animated animatic too.
That means in the next movie they have to have the who played Tigress in those movies? Wasn't it Angelina Jolie?
I think so, actually. Yeah.
They need to get her for Daisy or Rosalina, so we can have a 1/3 of a Kung Fu Panda reunion.
What if it just turns into like this huge crossover and it goes into Mario vs. Rabbit or Mario and Rabbids? Like we take a hard left. Like, nope, you're not getting Mario canon. You're getting Mario Rabbids continuation.
I would. That would be really, really funny.
It would suck, actually.
It's just
because it would be ironic. No, you know what would happen too? We would get like an intro thing, where it's a minion and a rabbit seeing who can scream the loudest.
You're right.
I will say, I've said this a few times to other people. I think the Rabbids directly created the minions somehow.
Oh, they obviously did. Yeah, completely.
It's like a butterfly effect.
I forget the word IHE used for that kind of character, but like a gooblar.
Gooblar. It's something like that. I was just talking to Zoe about I Hate Everything like today. I was like, man, what the fuck does I Hate Everything do anymore? I haven't watched I Hate Everything since high school.
He just made a video with Adam talking about Saw X, but besides that, I don't know what else he's been up to.
I'm waiting for him to post another Mockbuster video because those are the ones I watch. Also, Mario video games. Did you play Mario Wonder?
I did, and I beat it.
I want to so bad.
We will not spoil anything major, but I will say it was very, very fun, and I want to play through it again. Yeah. Oh dang! The thing was, I barely played as Mario.
It's Mario. I played as Daisy the whole game.
Oh, pretty much.
I played as Mario for the first few stages, just so I can hear the wonderful scream his new VA makes when he dies. Because it's like this really like it sounds like his life actually ends. It's really funny. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I ever fell down a pit or anything like that in Mario Wonder.
We're good at video games. We don't know what dying is like.
That's not what I meant.
It's because I heard. Well, no, I did it on purpose because I heard it was really like his scream was really funny. And it was. His new VA, Mario's new VA does a great job, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's not like the same. It's of course it's never going to be the same vibe, but the vibe does match Mario.
Daisy's new VA is very good.
And I think Peach has had like a new VA every time she's ever made an appearance or something.
I don't think Peach has ever had a consistent VA.
Oh yeah.
Also, did anybody play as like the Toads?
Isn't that like aren't the Toads the Baby Easy mode?
That's Yoshi.
Toads are little brother mode. The Toads are little brother characters. That's from the Wii, from Mario Wii.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
My only thing about Mario Wonder that I would say is like a major complaint. This isn't really a spoiler, but the boss variety is.
That's the major complaint people had. It's like great levels, amazing. I can't believe you were able to do that for every single level. But bosses, I guess, is where they took the hit creatively.
I want to say there was like they were cooking too hard in like the Nintendo office, and an executive came in and they're like, hey, the game's too good. You got to tone it down a little bit. And they're like, you
Drop
got it.
it, drop it."
We'll make shit bosses. And the bosses aren't bad. It's just that there's not many, and also there's two.
Oh,
There's multiple, like you fight one each world, but it's the same boss, except it's a little different.
Same boss, different arena, basically.
Yeah,
that's fun.
which is weird because like this would be the perfect game to bring back the Koopa Kids again.
All right, so I get why they didn't do it, because people were kind of burnt out on the Koopa Kids. They were showing up every new Super Mario Brothers, and they clearly said, okay, this is not new Super Mario Brothers. This is something
Were
different.
They, though?
Okay,
so new
okay,
Super
outside
Mario
of the
Brothers-
first one, I believe they were, right?
New Super Mario's for the DS was just Bowser Jr. and Bowser, but then that had like actual bosses.
Uh-huh.
New Super Mario Brothers Wii was the Koopa Kids.
And then you
and then
also had the
you-
Koopa Kids.
Did it?
I believe, yeah, it did. Because
Oh,
they had their
okay.
faces on the airships.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't feel like it would get that tiresome. Also, when was the last time an actual like New Super Mario Brothers came out?
It was, well, are you counting the remakes?
No, like just
Then
the
it was
pure,
like 17, not 17. Closer, it's been over a decade.
yeah, no, it's been quite a bit. So I don't think that comparison would have been made.
But I feel like it's like it is the re-releases that we keep seeing them pop up in that
It
add to the fatigue.
I don't know. Also, or maybe just like at least like the whole point of the game is to mess with like the general format of how levels are, or like it'll change things in wacky ways. Just take like a regular enemy and make like give it a wonder flower.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like I don't understand. That's not what they did. I honestly think something tells me they're trying to play this game super safe so that they get people used to like the new format.
Well, I feel like safe. Well, I mean, they played it in safe in certain aspects, and other aspects they went wild with, i.e., elephant.
Yeah, I like the elephant for it's a good power.
Everybody freaked out. It's like, oh, it's just gonna be Mario that's gonna be an elephant. They wouldn't do that to the princesses, would they? Would they?
They made her bald.
And then they did that one promotional video where Bowser was like, "Oh, you're thick."
Oh no! Why did they do that? Why did they do that?
Pussy.
Bowser like 'em thick.
I don't like it.
You don't like that set of words?
Okay, I want to tell you the circumstances in which I found out about Elephant Mario.
Okay.
So I hadn't seen the fucking Nintendo Direct when it came out. I was at work. But I was randomly scrolling through Twitter. And the first thing I see of Elephant Mario was not a screenshot from the game or like a video. It was somebody's horny art of of fucking Elephant Mario's big huge bara titties.
Oh.
I'm like, why? What is happening? And then I got home and saw all the news, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I thought you said all the nudes.
Well, I saw those too, but
Oh my gosh.
but I am kind of excited about for these past few like years. I feel like they're kind of trying to reinvent each Nintendo IP. So like we have Mario Wonder, we had the new Kirby, the Forgotten Lands.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Metroid Dread's a pretty staunch reinvention of like Metroid.
Yeah.
And then I think Breath of the Wild was the first to do it. Oh yeah, that's right. Tears of a Kingdom came out between the last one we did and this one.
Jeez, that's a lot of time. It was fun. I liked it. And apparently, like, I saw videos on, like, TikTok. It's like, I haven't explored all of this game yet, and even though I have collected pretty much everything.
I haven't even finished the main story yet.
I don't want to belabor the point because I don't want to spoil Tears of a Kingdom because I know people haven't finished it yet, even though it's been out for a few months, but that's okay. My whole thing about it is that I love Tears of a Kingdom and I like Breath of the Wild. I do not want another one.
You don't want this to be like the new format?
No, not really. Because I feel like, okay, so like I wouldn't mind another open world Zelda, but I don't think I want it in this map again.
Yeah, that is the
That's
thing.
fair.
I would like, because you can go to the edge of the map and you can use binoculars. There's clearly more landmass beyond that. They just won't
Mhm.
let you get there.
Yeah.
So if it's like, oh, Link and Zelda are going to different kingdom for like negotiations or something, and something goes wrong.
I guess so. Yeah, if there's a completely different map, then I'd be totally okay with that. But yeah, I don't know. Also,
Or what if they pull a Wind Waker and flood the whole thing?
that'd be cool. I would like that.
It's like, oh, you went underground, then in the sky. How about water everywhere?
people can't. Lauren, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
You're no one. You can't see this, but for like the past 5 minutes since we've been trying to talk about Zelda, Lauren just keeps posting Nostalgia Critic pictures in the text chat.
Where are you getting all these pictures of Doug Walker?
Personal collection.
Of course.
You could like add to the conversation.
No, this is fine.
I haven't finished Zelda, and I don't want to say anything that can like spoil
Right.
it.
Let's talk about the other thing. Five Night Freddy.
Oh yeah.
I went to the premiere, not the premiere. I went like a couple days later, and I got to dress up as William Afton.
And it looked great.
Yeah,
I dressed up as a depressed adult who's been waiting for this movie for at least 13 years.
yeah. And the movie was
I watched it in my room.
it was one of the movies of all time.
It's definitely, we've kind of hit this thing with video game movies where the people making them now are people who actually care about video games. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
like the thing they're making a movie about.
Like, could you imagine the horror that could be if this movie came out, I want to say 20, or not 20, maybe 12-ish years ago, when people were taking IPs and like
When it was
making it
expected to.
super
Yeah.
serious.
This movie would have completely fallen apart if it came out like after the first game, because that's when we first started hearing news about a FNAF movie. With like the first game came out, it blew up in popularity, and then there was like a few news articles that were like, "Oh, there's gonna be a movie," and we were all like, "Yeah, that'll be awesome." And then we waited, and then like 6 more games came out, and there was still no FNAF. There was still no FNAF movie.
I like when Freddy was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the one scene where Freddy Fazbear go horror.
One thing I really appreciated is that it does something that none of the other games do. They say it, but they never put any effort into showing it, which is the animatronics are children.
Yeah.
They're like 7 to 12-year-olds max, and they feel like children here,
Mhm.
Well, yeah, no.
and I really like that.
I found the scene where they build the pillow fort and all just kind of like hang out. I found that legitimately heartwarming.
I found it endearing. I really liked that scene.
It
I know
was
people didn't.
Crazy. It was crazy adorable, especially when the part where Bonnie like falls flat on his ass.
Yeah, I love
That
it.
was funny. I will say, without spoiling it to anyone who hasn't seen it, they somehow wrote the main antagonist of the series less evil than the secondary antagonist that was at the beginning.
Are you
Like, you know
talking
what I'm
about
talking
the
about?
aunt?
Yeah.
The aunt.
Yeah, they wrote the aunt somehow more evil than the literal killer.
The thing that sucks is that William doesn't really get that much of a presence in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is fine because that's kind of how it was in the games before he showed up. Like the first game doesn't even have a purple guy, does it?
It just has a phone guy.
And there's reference to murders. But
Yeah,
no
that like
purple
very
guy. I mean,
small.
And the
you
reference to
remember
murders
William?
weren't even like in the game, or not, they were in the game. It was just like blink and you'll miss it posters in the cameras.
And it also like remember that like William wasn't even a character until the books gave him a name. He was always
Yeah.
just called Purple Guy out of necessity.
This
Yeah.
is true. Yeah. Remember when people thought there were 2 purple guys because one purple guy was a slightly different color?
Yeah, I mean technically there are 2 purple guys, Michael and
Yeah,
William.
one
Yeah.
is a rotting corpse that's just walking around, and the other one's a rotting corpse that's inside of a
Just
A
walking
suit.
around.
must run in the
Okay.
family.
Drake, when you mentioned the other purple guy as a rotting corpse, can you please put in that clip of the guy watching the cutscenes from Sister Location? Oh, he's looking a little green.
What the
And he comes up the next day, oh my god. That's the funniest shit. I love all the stupid little references to shit no one would care about except for people who really, really like FNAF. Like Sparky the dog is there. That made me very happy.
It made me so happy. Like I was like, oh, the diner, it's called Sparky's. That's so cute. That made me really happy. And then seeing Sparky just laying on the
And you see him for quite a bit too. He's like an actual presence in the background. It's kind of crazy.
Because honestly, it wouldn't be. As stupid as it is to say, I just feel like it wouldn't be a FNAF movie without even mentioning all those stupid rumors back then. Sparky was the biggest one.
My favorite little Easter egg is one I think a lot of people missed. The ice cream place Mike visits in the mall he's working at. Their little symbol is the rainbow from FNAF World.
Yeah, the Jimmy Neutron one.
The Jimmy Neutron rainbow.
I love that film. It was not amazing. I'm not going to say it's a spectacular film, but it was everything I wanted it to be.
The mixed reviews were very understandable after you saw the movie.
The way I put it is like as an actual movie, it's like a 4, but as like a FNAF movie, it's like a 7.
Oh yeah.
I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Which I stand by.
I think the second one's going to be even better.
Oh god, yeah, because it's going to be about Will.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're going to get so much more. Okay, there was this one TikTok I kept seeing where it was the transition from Shaggy to Afton. Have you seen it?
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, the knife thing that he did.
Yeah, I gotta say the voice modulator that's in, like when he has the suit on goes pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
I had one problem with his Afton, and it was the fact that he said the line a little too fast.
What? Yeah, no, he just kind of said it because he knew it was a thing. He knew it was a thing he had to say.
It also makes more sense. Like this William is a William that has it isn't like a I'll come back. Like it is a he knows how this works. He is specifically putting himself in this suit so he can torture them forever.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It just would have worked if he just said like I always come back instead of the I always come back.
It's like shoot. Instead of like this is my dying breath. I need to like savor the moment.
Yeah. William's always been a guy, and like the murders he did, he was always the one that savored it.
You should when you release the video version of this, Drake, you should probably put like a little thing that's like, hey, we're probably gonna spoil the shit out of the finale.
Oh yeah, I'll put some like police tape that says spoiler on it over everything.
Yeah, because we said we wouldn't, and then now we are.
Sorry, live viewing audience of 3 people.
It's different when we've seen it all. Like we won't spoil anything for each other, but if we've seen it all, fuck everyone else.
I mean,
oh right, we are the most anti-parasocial podcast out there.
It's true. Yeah. It is very true.
You there.
Oh, fucking Matt Pat.
Matt Pat being called Ness because of the sands. Like the fact that like Scott went up to him specifically and like told him he was called Ness because of the sands berry.
It's like, is this a lore thing? No. Ness is Sans. It's like, great.
Oh, funny.
You can't even say no because this is like his moment. It's like, this is my compromise, isn't it? This is the monkey's paw. I
gotta say, despite how like, it's obvious like Matt Pat's there, you see him, whatever. He does a little wink to the camera. But I gotta say, maybe it's just because he's a theater kid. Matt Pat has a pretty good like natural stage presence when it comes
he's a theater kid. It shows.
Like just being in a movie.
I think the only uncomfortable thing was that he said his line, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. He looked at the camera like finger guns and goes, "But that's just a theory."
And I love it.
But he also doesn't. It's worked in decently enough. It's just so fucking funny.
I love the line that immediately follows. Is like, "Are you getting paid by the word?" It's like the perfect.
Also, the ship between what's his name, the
Doug
and Ness. There is a gigantic ship between the two of them now, and I think that's very funny.
My personal favorite Easter egg, though, is the fact that his book is called Dream Theory.
Oh, yeah,
which is so good.
I feel like that was specifically put in for Matt Pat.
Well, no.
Well, I know Dream Theory like precedes Matt Pat, but I feel like he was the one that like echoed it the loudest.
Did he ever Was he ever a proprietor of Dream Theory? I thought he hated
was-
that theory.
Well, I think he.
Matt Pat was the one that after Matt Pat made reference to that, like, oh, the box is like, it's probably all Dream Theory. It all makes sense. And then when Matt Pat made that theory, everyone dogged on him and said that is the shittest thing ever. If that was the end of the game series, we would hate it and would be livid. And Scott then pulled back and then left that box unopened.
Yeah.
It
was the
totally a
box
Dream
somewhere
Theory the whole
in
time.
the movie?
I don't know. It'd be funny if it was.
I think I saw somewhere, it was either Twitter or TikTok, where somebody was like putting a red circle around a box behind Afton in one of the scenes where it was like it had a lock on it. Maybe not two locks.
I would have loved it. I feel like someone just put it there and tried to trick everybody into thinking like
that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, wasn't Jeremy in the FNAF film too?
No, so
I thought he was the co-worker at the mall.
I don't know.
Yeah, because the character was called Jeremiah.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Well, so I know the security guard that gets killed in the intro. You see his name crossed out on the tape he gives Mike, and his name was Fritz.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I saw that.
I did see where that guy that was killed at the beginning was supposed to be Markiplier, but
Yeah.
schedules didn't line up, and he couldn't make it because he was filming Iron Lung, or he was doing getting production, and that started.
He was too busy being power washed with blood and getting it in his eyes.
And then not
go to the
telling
hospital.
and then not telling anyone why.
The picture of him looking the most unhinged he ever has, his eyes like blood red, looking in it's the funniest fucking picture I think I've ever seen.
What was the caption? Great way to spend my birthday.
Yeah.
And with no context, he does
Marky
not post on Twitter for the rest of the day, leaving everyone spiraling.
It made it look like he was like confessing to a murder.
Oh my gosh, that was the best thing ever. He knows how to market his movie.
That Iron Lung movie's gonna be pretty good, I think.
It's gonna slap so hard.
I don't even like Iron Lung is one of those things that like it should be probably really it's gonna be like a short film, right? It's not gonna be a feature length
Yeah, it
movie.
has to be.
Just you keep posting the picture.
I know.
Didn't that happen because he was like completely submerged in fake blood?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
from the
spent
trailer.
way too long in fake blood, and it got in his eyes. I'm surprised it didn't like bleach anything in his like hair or anything.
Fucking worth it though, because that shot goes hard.
It does.
Yeah. Thank you, Marky Moo. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you, Markiplier.
Very cool.
I had one more thing to say about the FNAF movie. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, the actual animatronics of the movie are really, really good.
I loved that they
gorgeous.
sprung for practical effects.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I was really afraid they were going to be just CGI, which they very easily could have done. And I'm glad they were like actual physical animatronics. That made me very happy.
It
The fact
did.
that there are Henson puppets too made so much of a difference.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I had a bunch of people like around me make the joke where it's like, "Oh, the Henson Company made the animatronics. Does that make it a Muppet movie?"
Yes,
And it, like-
legally they are now Muppets.
And it activates the fucking autism trap card in my brain where it's like, actually, Muppets are only a subset of Henson creatures. The FNAF animatronics would actually be critters, which are the same thing as the thing from.
Did you
Because-
just
What?
did you just equate Muppets to a subspecies?
Yes,
No, that's
literally,
how they talk about it. It's so funny.
no, that's literally how it is.
That's really funny.
The Muppets
I like
are
Fraggles.
yeah. When it comes to Henson creatures, Muppets are like the subspecies which are like made of felt and are hand controlled, like with an actual like hand inside their body. The suit ones are a little dubious. Like Big Bird is still technically a Muppet, but he's like a full suit.
How do you feel about the Eraserhead baby? Yes, it was
Wasn't
made by the Henson Company.
I mean, I
the
guess
Eraserhead baby is technically a Muppet, I guess.
Oh my
See,
gosh.
See, that's even more funny than the animatronics.
Look at him. He's a baby.
Kermit the Frog here. What the heck is that?
It's so good to see everybody. Oh no. Oh.
Kermit the Frog here. Holy
Oh.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's big.
Yeah, it's a baby.
oh.
But yeah, the FNAF animatronics would go in the same category as oh god, you ever seen Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little gnome guy, the one who pisses in the river. They would be they're the same.
I was kind of thinking it'd be like the Did you ever watch Fraggles?
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Fraggle Rock.
Rock.
Yeah,
I was thinking it'd be like more like those big suit guys.
Mm.
Yeah.
I guess they would technically be in the same kind of like class as Big Bird, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure when they move around, they are suits sometimes. Is that right?
Yeah,
Or-
they are animatronics
Yeah, yeah.
and suits, just like
A lot-
they're not spring
A lot
locked,
of the
but
time they are suit. The only one that can't be is
Foxy, because he's too
Oh, yeah.
thin.
Too finicky.
that is the thing. Oh, that is a complaint I had. I wanted the spring locks to. They showed it in an earlier scene where they snap shut, but during like the pinnacle scene, they didn't. They were so like I get it. They're slowly digging in, but I wanted it to like be more like instant, like locking him into a position. Like,
I think it had
Yeah.
more. I think it had. So I actually had a theory, like a small little theory about that.
A theory?
I thought they only snap shut because when they're empty, because there's nothing to like.
Yeah, there's no
Constrict them?
resistance.
Yeah, but I feel like having an actual body in there would have more resistance.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really question it that much.
I felt like it needed more impact.
I gotta say though, I'm glad that they just call him the Yellow Rabbit because I've always taken a huge umbrage with the fact that his actual name is Spring Bonnie. I always thought that was so stupid.
It's like, spring is in like the springs inside of him, but I think it was supposed to be spring as in like the season.
Well, no, like
Uh,
I guess that makes sense.
That's
But,
how
like,
I
I don't
always
know.
interpreted it.
The way it's always talked about is like Springtrap, is the name of the version of that character that has the corpse of a man in it, spring locked by the suit. That makes sense. But his name, the first incarnation of a character being named that way just makes no sense.
It's
Okay,
like
like,
it makes
are
it
you
sound like a
meaning-
variation.
Are you meaning in a canonical sense? Or are you meaning in like a
I mean it
Okay,
in the
because
in the-
canonically it's never called. It's called a spring lock suit, but it's never called Spring Bonnie. That's a fan name entirely.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
I thought there were like official. I thought there was like official books that call him that now.
Maybe, but it's always just Spring Bonnie has always been a fan term for it.
Okay, because I was fine with their names being Bonnie and Fredbear. I thought they would make
Yeah,
the most
it was
sense.
always Bonnie and Fredbear, and this was
Okay.
if it's called Spring Bonnie, I assume it is just like more of a like you would call the Freddy or like Spring Fredbear or something, because like more in more of a sense of behind the scenes, that would be like their classification.
I guess it's just like I watched so many videos where people talk about like FNAF lore, and every time they bring up original Bonnie, they call him Spring Bonnie, and they say it in a way where that's his actual name, and that's what people like. There will be people that's like, oh, and they invented two characters. There was Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. It's like that's not his name though. Like it's just Bonnie.
More the fact that the separation is hard.
That's like if people started calling like Black and White Mickey Steamboat Mickey or something like that.
People do.
Do they? I feel like they just call him Mickey Mouse.
I feel like people like use that to like
Mickey's
separate the eras of the way Mickey was drawn.
Yeah, you don't want like it's if you called one Bonnie and if you called them both Bonnie, it would be maybe the problem with it.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Like that's clarification for like outside of the lore kind of thing. Yeah,
Maybe.
outside of the universe.
Okay.
Can I talk about one that always fucked me off though?
What's that?
What's that?
Glitch Trap, dog shit name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spring Trap, love it. Scrap Trap, it works. Don't really like it, but it works. Glitch Trap blows. I hate it so much. You know what the better name is?
Yeah, I think I've heard you talk about this before.
Yes, that makes me angry. Malhair is such a good name.
really
Malware,
is.
hair. It's perfect. Why?
I also gotta say, Burn Trap is a real bad name.
I just
Yes, it is.
I get. I
Isn't it called
always
the mimic now or something.
No, the mimic is something else.
Actually, technically, I don't think it's ever actually called Burn Trap. Like canonically, called
I
Burn
guess so,
Trap.
but-
They're just called Afton.
I guess so. I thought he was called that in some capacity.
That's another one. Scrap Trap is not even an official name. It's a name used in the files, and it's a separation kind of name
That's
between
official.
Spring Trap. But in the game itself, it calls the animatronic specifically Afton.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I get it. You like I always come back, but we're gonna talk about security breach for a second. William felt very forced in.
William had his William was done.
Well, that's why they invented the mimic, because there was all like, oh, like they tried to bring back William, and everyone was like, hey, we hate this shit, and they were like, no, just kidding. It's a new guy who named the mimic who looks like everybody.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. I still don't even know what happened in the DLC.
I don't care to know.
Yeah. All I know is like for me, they should after Pizzeria Simulator ended, and then you had Ultimate Custom Night just being his hell.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
That was a great way to cap it off.
But I also like William in Help Wanted, but he shouldn't have been the main villain anymore. He should have just been a voice in Vanny's head just telling her to do stuff.
Like, kind of like that one Teen Titans episode where Slade was dead, but Robin got sprayed with like a fear toxin, and so he saw Slade in his mind, but he wasn't actually there. Something like that. Like, it was Afton's final trick.
Can we talk about how in the span of like a month, we got introduced to probably two of the worst inclusions to the FNAF lore, which is the Mimic and the Fear Gas, the nightmare gas that made FNAF 4 happen.
Well, that's always been a theory. It was just never confirmed.
But just like, I don't know, then the whole nightmare thing, just like, it just seems so much better if it's like just a kid's nightmare.
It's really funny, and I thought of just William fucking with his son.
It's true.
I hope
it's also completely in character.
That is also true.
I hope you know that every time that somebody says theory, I'm going to be splicing in precisely one frame of the Game Theory soundtrack.
You mean the intro? Yeah,
the intro is like, dude.
We'll see if we say it enough for Mario to get to the other side of the screen. What was I gonna say? You know what? Actually, now that you mention it like that, I do really like that idea where Crying Child. Does he have a name yet? Do we still not know?
Which
one? The Crying Child that dies in FNAF 4.
Evan. His name's Evan.
He's about to go to bed, and William is like, tucking him in. And then he's like, Dad, do you really have to plug in that Glade plugin? I don't like the way it smells. And he's like, yes, son, it's very important. And then it emits like a purple gas.
Oh, all right. So tell me if your child dentist had this. My child dentist had this rubber mask that went over your face, and they called it Mr. Nose. And it was, yeah, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but it was like a grape smelling gas that it was basically laughing gas that kept you pretty incapacitated while they worked on your oral mouth stuff.
Yeah. I actually had the same thing, but mine was like strawberry flavored. Or I guess scented. They let me keep it afterwards, really? And I huffed mine for like years.
They said I could keep mine, but I guess I just forgot to take it, or I forgot to ask about it later on.
Because it still retained the smell. So I was walking around just like huffing this thing. I looked like a fucking crazy person. I looked like a fucking like when a Batman story introduces a new like super drug, and like there's a bunch of villains like huffing Joker gas. That's how I look.
You're getting fucked up on Venom.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. In the span of from the last episode to this episode, we had started and resolved 2 Hollywood strikes.
We did it.
Hooray. We did it. We were the contributing factors.
Yeah, look, all I'm saying is we left, it happened. We came back. We talk about coming back, it's over. Like, I'm saying it's us. Mm-hmm. We did it. You're welcome, Hollywood.
We actually... the secret is we actually did a blackout in solidarity, and the Ratcast would not come back until the writers' strike was over.
Yeah, sorry, that's better. Yeah, we're union workers. Fuck Hollywood.
CEOs were sweating, and they're like, well, they got to make a comeback. we don't know what to do.
How funny, almost all boys.
So now we've got these like super barren movie release schedules for like the next 2 years, and I feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah, I kind of don't mind them pumping the brakes a bit on like new shit coming out, because I got kind of overwhelmed with like I did get a bit overwhelmed with like all the new releases. Like in the past year, We got the FNAF movie. We got Spider-Verse.
Mario.
We got Mario, fucking Rise of the Beast, Blue Beetle.
When did the Sonic 2 movie come out?
That was last year, right? Was that last year?
Somewhere close. But basically a ton of movies, not to mention like all the major studio stuff. And now we're getting one singular Marvel movie next year, and that's Deadpool 2.
You mean 3?
Oh, right, 3. Bleh. And then another Venom movie eventually.
And then all the like real actual movies that came out. Like Oppenheimer came out that I did not see.
Oh yeah, double feature Boppenheimer.
I did see Barbie. I liked Barbie quite a bit.
I didn't see Bobby. Sorry.
Yeah. I couldn't get my mom refused to see Barbie for whatever reason.
Why?
I think she has like a whole thing where she I don't know, she like detests Barbie and anything to do with her.
I didn't hear what I said.
What did you say?
I just said hates woman.
It's true.
I am brought back to a very specific memory about Barbie. Me and my sister had very limited like computer games because it was the early 2000s and the only thing we could get was on a disc because Steam wasn't a thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had like Putt Putt Saves the Zoo, and she had Barbie Mystery House or something like that, where it was this like surprisingly complex puzzle solving game, and we would just sit at the computer together and try and solve the puzzles. And the thing that was, Barbie had several thousand names that you could choose that she would call you by name for.
Oh, cool.
It's like you look for your name in the gigantic search list, and when you finally find it, you click it, and anytime Barbie is like, good job, and it'll cut off to the name, and it's always the same pronunciation each time, and it's really funny. But it's like, dang, a voice actress had to sit in a booth for hours on end and pronounce a list of names.
One of my favorite Easter eggs in that kind of sphere is there's this like real-time strategy game called, it's kind of like Civilization. It's called Black and White, and it has a predetermined list of names that like the name you put as your name in the game. It has a predetermined list of names that a disembodied voice will whisper to you if you play the game for a certain amount of time. So
yes, I remember reading about that.
If you're just sitting there like completely quiet, just like playing this game, it'll just like you'll suddenly hear your name being whispered. Yeah, just like that. It's pretty hilarious.
I think this is like a good stopping point. We're almost at an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for an hour already.
Yeah, it's like time goes by really fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's a bunch of shit that happens between. No, wait.
You got Oskin. You got Oskin. Pin punch.
No.
Quick,
Get off the stage, bozo.
Everybody say your plugs.
Makeup.
Everybody say your plugs before we go.
At shockdrop at youtube.com. I will make a video at some point. I promise.
No, Lauren, your new Twitter.
At bonabel.va. It's my thing everywhere now. Go find me.
All right, we live in your walls. F*** off. Other things.
Get out of their house. Go away. God.